what an amazing episode do we have, and we got you the first of its kind. It's a first takeover, the Queen's Corner. I hope you guys enjoy it. But first, let's give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Congruo.com, for all your business needs. Anything that you need, business mentoring, business coaching, whatever you need. If anything, you need someone to talk to that actually knows what they're doing, guess what? He's there for you. Congruo.com, go ahead and check him out. Legendary LTD, legendary screen printing, and legendary tattoos. Guys, the best in town. Tarpon Springs, shout out. Best tattoo artists, best prices, and what a beautiful tattoo shop. And obviously the screen printing, anything that you guys need, if you have a new business, small business, big business, it doesn't matter. Okay? They will have hats, any kind of embroidery, shirts, polo shirts. I'm getting ours done through them as well. And not only that, but Legendary LTD. Guys, shout out to Mitch Tegman over there at Legendary and all the Legendary crew. If you go to their website and you use the promo code SB30, you'll get 30% off of your first
tattoo apparel
order. Yeah.
Tattoo apparel order. Yes.
I was going too fast there. Sorry. That was fun. But yeah, 30% off, guys. Please don't miss out on that. It's only going to be for a limited time. So, and also we're going to start doing the mystery boxes. All right. In the next month. So make sure that you guys like, comment, share, and review. Please. It'll help us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any platform. Any platform that you listen to podcasts. So, what other sponsor do we have, baby?
We also have our newest sponsor, who we've already talked about a little bit on our last show, but HK Floor Recoating. Bring your hardwood back to life. They do all sorts of recoating, buffing on all those hardwood floors. So, you're going to want to give them a shout out as well. 305-814-1964.
And make sure that you go to their website, hkfloorrecoating.com, and check out those pictures and videos of the amazing magic that they can do with those floors. All right, guys? Now, I'm going to have my wife step back a little bit here because it's about to go down. Guys, I don't know what these girls actually did, but apparently, they call it the Queen's Corner. All right? The girls have done a takeover on the Social Banter podcast. I know it's going to be good.
You never know what happens when tequila starts flowing.
Oh, jeez. But it was on a Sunday morning. Jesus. All right. Let's hear what the girls have. Shout out to Jen Duro and Jordan Robbins for being in the Queen's Corner version 1. Apparently, there's gonna be more coming of that. If you make
with
sure that
some added special guests.
Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. Adding more girls into one podcast. Oh, all right. So make sure after this episode, if you guys like it and enjoy it, and you guys want to hear more of the Queen's Corner, make sure you like, share, and comment. Let us know. Give us some more feedback. We love it, guys. All right, here's the Queen's Corner.
All right, guys, so we have a special podcast today for you. It is just a girls' day. We left the boys so they could go play disc golf. They are watching all the kids, so we decided we're going to do a girls' chat. We're going to kind of delve into our friendship. We're going to delve into what it's like being a band wife, the support that we have to give our husbands to be able to have them do their side job. And just have some fun. So I have with me Jen Duro, and I also have Jordan Robbins, and you guys heard both of them before on their husband's podcast. So we just decided we'd get together and do this. So Here we go. Hi guys. Good morning.
Hi.
We're doing this in a morning session. We're having a Sunday fun day, by the way. So,
I mean, is there any other
It's
type
late
of Sunday?
morning.
yeah, it's late morning. We've been going since 10 o'clock. We just decided, this was the best way to do it. Get us all together, let the kids go with the dads, and
And I really think
sit
they
down
got
and
the
chat.
short end of that stick. Not the kids, the dads.
Hey, they played enough disc golf the other day to make up for it. So they can have some fun with the kids today.
There you go.
So, a little bit of background for both of you. Jen?
So I am a Florida girl through and through, born and raised. And I never really had really musical influence in my life. Like nobody, like people in my family sang, or we didn't really play instruments or anything like that. So I was never really exposed to, other than loving live music and going to bars and enjoying
Me too.
any kind of live music. It wasn't really until Chris that I saw what it took to really be up there and to make it something other than a garage band.
Right.
It's difficult. It really is. It
Oh,
takes
yeah.
a lot of gusto
Yeah.
and, I don't have a musical bone in my body.
Me either.
Which,
Me either.
he tries to talk to me about things and I'm just like, I have absolutely no idea. But I've come to learn that you can be, you just like match
Be excited
the
with it.
energy.
Yep.
Whatever energy they have coming into that, like, look, I got this. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right. I stopped asking because it goes into long conversations and I just don't understand half of it. So
you picked that up over the years.
yeah. I've learned.
Derek
I've
can sit
learned.
there and tell me anything and everything about a pickup, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I know exactly what gauge strings did you switch to this week? Like,
Oh, I have picked up jargon.
oh, there you go.
Like, I know buzzwords.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
so I can hang in a conversation.
Yes.
I guess. I can't lead it. I can hang.
Right.
I can sit back. Yeah.
And Jordan, so a little bit about you.
I'm a Sagittarius.
I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah, hi.
A good book at night.
Probably can't read that late at night.
Good murder series documentary.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hauntings, awesome. Okay.
Which is anything along those lines will do.
Yeah, I mean, the darker the better. So, hi, I'm Jordan. But, I grew up in Florida, another little Florida brat. I did happen to grow up with music around, not like my family being musical or anything like that, but always having friends that were in bands. I was friends in high school with all the marching band kids, and I did theater, so kind of was a nerd. But I, picked up with Derek, and we, like with Janet, I didn't really see the other side of the whole band situation. I mean, I've been to a billion concerts, but seeing it from the other side instead of in front of the stage, back behind the stage while they're setting up, you don't really realize how much
Work it takes and how much work it takes.
Yeah, and when
Before the show and after the show. It's not just
Exactly.
during.
Like, they bring 2 shirts because by the time they're set up, they're drenched in one shirt.
Exactly.
And then you put on another shirt to play.
Yep.
Well, and then for the cover band, it's 4 hours of playing music,
Right.
but then there's an hour and a half to 2 hours of setup, and then another hour and a half to 2 hours of breakdown. And oh my God, there's so many cables.
So many.
Oh, God. Yeah, don't get me started about the cables and the wires and the...
Oh my gosh.
God, yeah.
And
Usually by that point, though, we're sitting back feeling pretty good.
exactly.
Feeling pretty good.
So it's like, no,
So,
wrap
like,
that wire,
yeah,
no
no
problem.
problem.
And it's not even that part, too. It's all the practice they do, too, leading up
Oh, absolutely.
to these shows. It's not that they just go on stage and perform. They've got a night of practice every week or sometimes 2 times a week.
Well,
it depends
how
on
many bands there is.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's
And depending on
3-4
what show
nights a
they're
week.
going to play, if it's something that they're adding some new stuff into, they usually practice a couple times the week before just to make sure it's done right. So that's also some more time that it takes.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, what's nice with like the high fives, they don't. Sorry, Jenny. With the high fives, they don't have to practice every week. They've been together for that
Now.
long.
Right.
Yeah,
Now.
but they were practicing every week. The only time they really get together to practice is if they're like, hey, we need to add this song to the set. So they'll get together.
Change something up.
And, pound it out.
But yeah, there were definitely, like, it took a lot to get used to.
Yeah.
When
absolutely.
you're first with them, you have that honeymoon phase where you just want to be with, and, they're gone 3 or 4 nights out of the week. It's hard. And then as you get into a relationship, it gets even more hard because, you all have responsibilities and you have this and you have to juggle everything. And Chris and I don't have kids, but I can't imagine what it's like to actually have kids in that situation. Like, we have 2 dogs. Like,
But you still have to worry about them. It's not like you can leave all night long and not get home to take them out or feed them or things like that. I mean, it's not as much responsibility, but it's the same type of, you still have that worry.
Yeah, and it's like Jen was saying, it's that time away, but eventually you kind of just get used to it. It's like, oh, see ya. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Love you. Have fun.
It took a while to get used to, but yeah, you get to enjoy that.
It's a
3 or 4
night.
hours of just being by yourself with nobody to answer to, no one to
Yep.
I'm like,
Oh, absolutely.
fortunate on our part is like the boys, my 2 young ones are 4 and 7. They go to bed around like 8:00. Derek has to be at practice by 8, so he's leaving like a half an hour before they go to bed. And they're asleep real quick.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Mama time.
It's nice. You get to catch it on the
I think
stuff.
what was hard also was going to these places with them, especially the first time or the first few times, and not knowing anybody else that's going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes you don't meet the people that they're playing with right away.
Yeah.
And if you do, you might not know their significant other. So you go to these shows, and as a wife or girlfriend at the time, you don't know what to think. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know if you're going to sit there by yourself the whole entire time until they get their 30-minute break, or if you're going to have somebody
And
that at least,
happens.
that's going to talk to.
Like,
It's like the
in
first
the
day of school
beginning,
jitters.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I talked about this on our podcast. Like, I remember just sitting there and like looking at the other band wives and being like, oh, they don't want to talk to me. Like, I haven't earned my keep. I feel like, you know what I mean?
I got some chores for
Like,
you.
I haven't talked to them yet, so I shouldn't like go over there and be like, hi, I'm the new girl. Like, no, I want it to be organic and like, I want to be introduced and get to know people before I'm like, hi, I'm here. And,
Oh yeah. Well, it also depends on I think how long that person's been in a band, because before us, there might have been another person that was
that's
with
always a
them.
weird situation.
And so these other people might be looking at you going, oh, that's just another girlfriend. Oh, that's, who knows who she is. We've all been here for so long. Let's just, it won't matter if we talk to her or not.
And it's a different dynamic. I mean, of course, when you add new people, the dynamics of things kind of shift.
Yes.
And it's whether or not that shift, if you want that shift. If you don't want that shift, then...
Right. Just because you're part of that group, that band member, doesn't mean all the girls are going to be, doesn't mean all the guys are going to be friends. I mean, some of the guys, they play together, and that's it. Right. So a girl coming into the band wife, it's the same thing. Sometimes you click, sometimes you don't.
But
sometimes it's just
saying, okay.
Exactly.
There are definitely band wives that I've met once. They were great. And
you see each other at the show, and that's when you associate. And it's an odd thing that the three of us clicked so well the way we met, because first it was Jordan,
good looks, guys.
Me, and then you, and it was like we all fell into this different area of relationships with our significant other, and getting to meet each other and the way we all felt about each other at first. But it was like I mean, it did not take but a time being together that we clicked, and we knew we were going to be friends, and we knew, hey, we'll be the ones there supporting. We're going to sit together. We're going to hang out together. We're going to make this a group thing, a family thing. Like, we just knew how our dynamic was almost at the beginning.
Yeah, totally. I mean, between Jordan and I, our husbands were in the high fives.
Yep.
And that was really the first band that Chris was in that I was like, yeah, because Sats was a metal band, and like, yeah, I'll go to the shows and I'll be there, but like, it's not my type of scene. But then the high fives, like Jordan and I would just sit there and like just get really drunk.
And when you're getting cheap drinks because you get a discount because your dude's in the band, or they have this tab or that tab, or however they've worked it out. I mean, you indulge a little bit more.
Yeah,
we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna make it the most. We're there for 6-7 hours at a time, and sometimes we're the only ones, not saying that there aren't other people there, but we're the only ones that we know.
Right.
And that kind of, I don't want to say it forced it, but it enabled us to have those like drunken moments.
That and the fact that I order like 12 appetizers when we go.
Yeah.
All the snacks.
All the snackies. But yeah, it helped enable us to become very close very quickly because of how many hours we were really spending together.
Well, then you catch up real quick on your friendship too, because you're spending that amount of time.
Oh, right, and you get to know each other.
About each other.
Yep. You sit there, you get to know each other. You talk.
You start looking forward to the show. So you're like,
hey,
I get to hang with my homie.
Yeah, exactly.
You're all excited, and it becomes, especially when they were playing a couple times a month.
Yeah,
it was like, all right, what are we doing
every weekend? And then I feel like the guys got closer to Danny. And we got closer to you in that kind of expanding that group and community out and seeing where it goes.
Well, even if the guys didn't get close to Danny.
But yes, it was. And it was funny because the guys all knew each other way before any of us even met.
Yep.
So they already had friendships in their own different ways, being Chris and Danny lived together. Derek and Danny played in. Yep. So they already had this established friendship. And I think for them, with the three of us anyways, like Jordan had been around already, before us.
Just a few blocks.
Yeah.
Blocks.
Before us. So, she already knew Danny, which helped when I did meet her. I already heard just a little bit, like I knew who she was, Derek's wife. They've been together.
She was terrified because they're all like, this woman's crazy.
She's not.
Well,
in her own right, she is. Yes, absolutely. But yes, it was.
You love me or you hate me. It's like tequila. You either love tequila or you hate tequila. I'm kind of right there.
Oh my God.
And at this point, her body's probably made up of half tequila, at least. So we're all good there.
That's a fair estimate.
But I think we're slowly catching up to that too.
Yeah,
I kind of broke you guys.
Yeah, I did not like tequila
before my birthday.
Okay, the last time I had tequila before I met y'all, it honestly was like probably in my mid-20s, and I was at this bar in West Chase, and I was kind of tipsy, and everyone's like, oh, we're getting shots of tequila, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's not my jam, but that's okay. Thinking they were chilled, and it was the most disgusting hot tequila that I've ever had in my life. And after that, I was like, I'm done. Nope. No more tequila.
Well, then I forced it on you for my 30th birthday. We basically did a whole tequila night, and it started, and there are scars.
There's bumps, there's bruises, there's scars, there's
broken doors.
R.I.P. to my no tequila rule. Let's just put it that way.
We've been tequila ever since then.
Yeah.
Lots of bottles of tequila.
You're welcome.
Good ones.
Yeah. Absolutely, we did. Absolutely, we did.
We find we have very expensive taste.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
And that's sometimes that happens. Like
everything. Let's talk band equipment.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah, because the guys really don't talk about that part in any, they're too busy talking to everybody about their shows, about their experience, about their music, about how they, were brought up in this community of musicians and artists and things like that. But as a band wife or band girlfriend for a long time, you start to realize what it takes not only with the hard work, but financially,
it's a financial investment.
What
all
it
of this
takes.
equipment, every guitar, every drumstick, every drum head,
Well,
every PA system, every bass string, it's all an investment.
And it's not a negative thing, and that's not what we're saying
no,
here.
not at all.
It's just, it turns into a lot of things you never really thought of because we weren't in that community. We don't know what it takes for them to actually get there. And part of that equipment stuff is part of why they also are sometimes downplayed at a bar because they want to get lowballed because these people want to just pay the most minimum amount and they don't realize the cost that
it's the
they're
overhead.
putting into being able to put on a full band performance for you.
Well, yeah, and then, cables don't last forever.
No.
Speakers don't last
Nothing
forever, so
lasts
things
forever.
have to be replaced. And
Strings on a guitar
Exactly,
all the time.
But it's also like you get one thing, but you can't just get one thing because that one thing needs 7 other things
to make it work.
And so it's a never ending
Yes.
thing. And if you're lucky, what you make in shows, you cover what you've spent
On buying pieces of equipment.
And that's the only thing that you can hope for.
Yes.
And that you have fun, right?
Yeah.
And it's definitely a big undertaking, which I didn't expect.
Well, here's my advice to any new band wife, band girlfriend, you're talking to somebody in a band, hang in there. You will get used to it.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world that they have to go to Sam Ash. Because trust me, you're going to go out to the show, you're going to have a great time, and you won't even be mad anymore.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I mean, well, it depends on...
Yeah. But again.
Okay,
That was not a resounding yes.
No.
It was not.
Like, if he comes home with a brand new guitar that you didn't know was happening, you got bills to pay.
You know what? It's about communication.
There you go.
They're like, hey,
But that's
look,
any relationship.
I gotta get that.
Oh, yeah. With anything.
I gotta get that. Whoever your CFO is in your relationship, just talk to him about it. I'm sure you can work it out. Credit cards are a wonderful thing. And just make it work.
Yeah. It is to a point you don't want to go in
Credit
debt
cards is the
with
devil,
it.
Bobby.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
You don't want to go in debt with it. Obviously, everybody needs to be aware of the cost versus the income that you're going to be able to cover that because, you might put it on a credit card, but you got to remember you got to pay that credit card.
Absolutely.
So it's got to be in the budget. And most of the guys,
They do really well with that.
They do. They do very well with it. They do talk. They do explain because, like we said, we don't know the terms.
Explaining is the biggest thing.
I don't understand. Even with all this stuff we got to start the podcast, Danny's like, oh, we need mics. Then we need stands. We need the cables. Oh, I might have the cable. No, we're going to need it's always something, along that, and I don't know what goes along with it. I couldn't tell you need a stand for a microphone and a cable, and it needs to be able to hook in to the
And you need this
roadcaster.
adapter and that adapter.
So when they
exactly.
break it down, and sometimes I feel like my husband will look at me and go, are you that retarded? Are you blonde or something? But it's not even that. I don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
So I look at him like he's got 3 eyes when he's telling me this, but once he breaks it down and little terms for me and says, listen, the microphone doesn't come with a stand, so you got to get the stand because you're not going to hold the microphone for an hour and a half in the right position that you need it in, and you're going to need to be able to adapt it
Explain it to me like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old.
Yes, exactly.
That is how we need to be talked to, spoken to, talked to,
Spoken.
Yes.
You speak it to us like we're 5-year-olds.
I am shooketh by this news. So yeah, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Look at your budget. If you can't swing it, you can't swing it.
Yep.
You just
Shit
wait
happens.
and you say, okay, I have 3 shows coming up. Let's put $50 away every show, and boom, 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 you got what you need. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they've all done that.
Don't live outside your means. Is
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for this.
Absolutely. And depending on also what music your husband plays
Yeah.
or your boyfriend plays,
The
it's going to
drums
also
are a lot of equipment.
it's going to determine also not only the equipment you need, but the car you need, the space you're going to need. And Jen is right. Drum kits. You've got stands, you've got cymbals,
It's a sedan, a normal sedan. It will take up so I have a Hyundai Sonata. It takes up the trunk, the back seat, and I have to pull the seat pretty much all the way up. I'm lucky to get a seat in the car.
Right.
Basically.
Oh yeah, Danny too.
SUV, you can make it work a little bit better.
Yep.
Well, then you got the tank.
Yeah. See, Derek should have played drums.
They got a big old Expedition and a big old truck, so they're fine.
We planned accordingly.
Derek doesn't have as much equipment to bring in that sense. With him,
he's like totally slimmed down his whole thing. He one trip.
Well, Chris now is
supposed
doing
to be one
the
trip.
electric kit, which is literally like 7 pieces or something like that. Like small pieces to where you're really only making like 2 trips to the car, which is
nice.
Really nice. I can sit back in my chair in the car, which is lovely.
Well, see, Derek used to have a half stack.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's the big with all the speakers in it. It's got just the speakers, and then you put the amp head on top and plug it all in. And that thing was huge.
Yeah.
When you go to a concert and you look, the big square with the
like that
thing. No, that's a monitor.
Oh. No, not that. The speaker.
That's a monitor.
Oh my god, guys.
So
I'm all messed up.
He's definitely downsized because now he uses a combo amp. And he doesn't carry the big ass pedal board anymore. He's got the Helix and sized everything down just to make it easier. And you do see this as like they've been in these bands longer, that they do find the easiest way to do it and still get the sound that they want.
Yep.
Efficient.
Yeah. Oh, Danny not only has his equipment though, he also has a box of any and every cable extension cord that you could ever think of in case he needs it for anything. Even though he's playing the drums, I mean, sometimes somebody will need something, and he always has it with him.
That's
DJing, especially when he brings his DJ equipment, he's got that box that is like number one because it's got every plug, cord, extension cord. It's
his Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah, it's got everything in it to make sure he's not missing something.
Yeah, most of the guys, they have their backpack.
Yeah.
For all that stuff too. Backpack. Sorry.
I know. And
Packy pack.
finally, Danny talked himself into making sure he had a cart because he used to carry all the pieces in one by one. Like I was like the roadie. I would help him bring that stuff in, get all the empty bags back out to the car or in an area that he could put it, so they were all out of his way.
Depends on the night, I should say.
Yeah. And
exactly.
He finally got a cart.
Picking this up?
Yeah.
Do I have balance and stability to be doing this right now? If you question yourself, say no and just sit back and sing Whitney Houston, which is what I do.
It usually ends up very interesting. I'm so glad people don't record us when we do that.
I'm surprised they don't.
I know. They go
ridiculous.
It might. Yeah. We might just have to make for TikTok, put one up there.
But you definitely do help them.
You're the roadie. You try to be as supportive as possible. And if that means they need an extra hand carrying something in, you carry it in. It's not that big a deal.
And then you say, pay me.
And well, thank God they buy us the drinks.
Yeah.
they share their little bit of stuff with us.
Exactly.
But it is. And then at the end of the night, depending on how, of course, you are, they're exhausted. I mean, they are fucking exhausted at the end of the night after setting up for an hour and a half and then playing for 2 hours. And then they've got to pack it all up at the end of the night. So, hey, they want a hand. You absolutely help them. It's just what you do. And sometimes I think they don't expect the help.
Good.
So when we do it, it's like extra special.
Exactly. Good.
We're showing our love.
I love you, honey.
Here, let me carry that backpack. Let me carry those drumsticks.
Yes.
I'll take that. Thank you.
And those they need a lot of. I never realized how many drumsticks.
Oh my God.
They go through
every week I hear, I need new drumsticks.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't help. Danny and Chris both drum hard. They drum very hard.
After a while, I understood why he always needs drumsticks.
Yes.
But you still always need drumsticks.
Well, it's the same thing with guitar. I mean, Derek's always got to have at least one set
of strings.
strings in his bag. He's always got his at least 2 guitars with him, both ready to go. And then if he breaks a string, though, he has to be able to replace it real quick.
Yeah.
Because, they have their favorite guitar.
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody in the music business has their favorite piece of equipment. Their setup. Yep. Their favorite setup.
So if that string breaks, he gets on his backup, which his guitars are beautiful, so it's,
Beauties.
Yes. But it's not something you can just do and take a break all of a sudden when you play that a string breaks. You can't just start restringing in the middle of a set.
But it's happened.
Oh, it has.
Where he's broke a string on the main guitar and then a string on the backup guitar and had to quickly get it off. And then, the guitar's got a cat whisker. That's when there's extra string by the tuning knobs.
It'll poke your eye out, kid.
Oh, don't step on one.
Oh,
really?
If they're curved, you just step on one.
Oh, that just sounds like it hurts. Oh, that hurts my foot now.
Painful.
That hurts my foot now.
That's why I had a tetanus shot. But yeah, it is what it is.
Oh my God.
I'll be here all day.
Well, cheers.
Yes. Cheers. We are, of course, having a few drinks during our podcast. Towards the end here, we've already got the tequila set up and ready. That'll be our ending, which we're not to yet, but a little bit longer.
I feel like we've been talking forever.
Okay, so as you guys all know, we have Legendary Tattoos as a sponsor for the Social Banter podcast. Legendary Tattoo, Legendary LTD, and Legendary Screen Printing. So something exciting coming up. Jordan and I are both getting tattoos by artists at Legendary. As we talked in Mitch's episode, he's the only one I let tattoo me. He's already done a whole bunch of them on me already. 6, 7 of them, something like that. So, I'm going back on April 5th and getting another one done by Mitch, which I am so excited to do because Danny and I, our niece drew it for me after our doggy passed away.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So she drew this special, beautiful picture for me and I gave it to Mitch and, that is going to be our next tattoo. So I'm so excited to go. It's been a hot minute since I was able to get a new tattoo. And then Jordan is getting ready to go as well.
I am. And actually I've gone to another place that I will not name because I'm not that mean. But I've got a botch job on my back. Oh. Like, it's scarred, the color's falling out. It's only black and white, but the black's falling out. So I regretted going anywhere else but Legendary because I should have just waited and gone and taken the time and gone up and got that one done. Now I have to go ahead and get it fixed. But I'm super excited because what I'm getting is a pink magnolia on my shoulder. And I fell in love with the pink magnolia when we were in New Orleans for Jenny's bachelorette party.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been kind of stuck. I'm obsessed with New Orleans. It's just...
Oh, it's so much fun. Much fun.
That'll be a trip we're definitely planning.
Yeah.
That and Key West.
Disneyland for kids.
Yep, that and Key West.
Or adults. Disneyland for adults.
Disneyland for adults, yes.
Do
it's
not
Magic
take
Kingdom.
your children to New Orleans. Do not do that.
You will regret it.
Yes, so many boobs.
So many crime scenes.
Oh my God, yeah, we did walk through a crime scene.
We walked through a crime scene.
God.
So we ended up, my bachelorette party, it fell on Mardi Gras. It just so happened to be that my lovely bridesmaids, my sisters, planned this around Mardi Gras. I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but it was amazing.
It was perfect.
They were so... It was right before COVID.
And I was so sad I couldn't go.
2019.
Oh, yeah.
I was so sad I couldn't go.
Way before COVID. I know.
Sorry, Liz Ligori was my bed buddy.
Yes.
Shout out to Liz.
Love you, Liz.
Shout out to Liz.
But it was so packed, and we ended up walking from, of course, one bar to another, and we were so drunk by this point that we walked through a crime scene. Literally, we walked through 2 cop cars and blood on the street and did not even notice.
And then we see the guy getting put in the ambulance. We hear the other transients sitting on the side.
My
We're like,
God.
oh, she stabbed him because he was talking to blah, 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 blah. We look down and there's blood and we're like, guys, watch your step.
We're
watch
like,
your step.
oh
Watch your
my
step.
God. I cannot believe.
Oh my God.
When in New Orleans, that's what happens apparently. On Mardi Gras.
So where did you see the flower at that made you fall in love with
it was just on, we walked through
the crime scene.
No.
And there was a drop of blood on it.
Oh my God. So much blood. Anyway, so no, it was the second day and I was actually walking back with Liz, Jen's sister-in-law, Randy, and her Aunt Kim. And we all walked back because we're like, we want to hit a few more shops before we go to dinner. So we walked back and we're just going through the neighborhoods, which, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
And it was just there. And I'm like, wow, this tree is amazing. Look at these flowers. And I'm taking pictures and it just kind of just stuck with me. Because I was, it's having a good day and New Orleans is beautiful and it's nice.
It's a great place. It's a great place.
That's where
So you've
got
already
my
set up
signature
your
look.
appointment?
I did not. I have
You're
started
working
the
on it, though.
conversation.
Okay.
I have to call on Monday when they're open and go ahead and get my appointment on the books.
All right. So you're going to do a consult first? Or does he think that
He says
he's ready
exactly
to go?
what I want.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I
He's
wish you could
booked
go
out
with
through
me.
July.
I wish you could go with me.
Yeah, I'm not
So we
going to
could
be
do
able
it
to get in
together?
until about July.
Yeah.
But, when it's...
When it's a good
right
artist.
and it's going to be exactly what
That's
you
how
wanted.
you know it's a good artist when they're booked up
Well, exactly.
so far.
Yeah.
When I was going to go with a different artist, but in my head, I just kept thinking, I've got to get what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna have to
So
look
shout out to
forever.
Bob
Exactly.
because Jordan's going to be checking in with you, Bob, and getting all that done. I cannot wait to see it.
Yep. I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be so much fun.
I just like
So
delicate looking
beautiful.
and real, and it's pretty. I'm so excited.
I'll stick with my one tattoo for right now.
And we're
no,
gonna
we'll
we're
get you,
getting
Jen. Don't
her
worry.
we're getting her and Chris in sometime very soon. They've got to get those tattoos done.
Yeah.
Chris, we need to pop his cherry on that since he's never had any done.
I had mine done at 18, and I just have the one. And ever since that, I didn't get the bug, that people talk about, the tattoo bug.
That's the bug.
I didn't get
I've got
it.
the bug.
It was a very sentimental tattoo, so it wasn't, I
Right.
feel like it was just a one and done kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have, ever since meeting you guys,
We're bad
and my friend Carrie, so shout out to Carrie.
We love you,
and
Carrie.
Joe, who is a tattoo artist. They always had me thinking about it, what would I want? And so I never, in the 10 years I've known her, I've never landed on it. So I'm pretty indecisive, and we'll see what happens.
Well, see, it takes me a little bit too, actually. After I impulsively did my other one, I'm like, I can't be impulsive this time. So it really took a little bit of a push for me, but
Yep.
I'm going to do it.
I've only done one impulse tattoo, which was a drunken night in Orlando with our friends Chris and Diana Maniatis. Me, Danny, Chris, and Diana ended up with cherry tattoos on our arms. And that story will come about because we're going to have Chris in here soon too. So that story will come about because we've had some blasts with him as well, and him and Diana, and he's big into the music scene as well. So we'll talk with him and bring that one up. But all the other ones have been planned. I knew what I wanted, or I shouldn't say exactly what I wanted. I had a thing in mind, and I would just send it over to Mitch and be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking about next. Make it your own spin. My biggest one is my phoenix on my ribs that I did after I had my divorce. I wanted to
Rise of the Phoenix.
Yeah, the Rise of the Phoenix. It was the new start. I was with Danny, and I was like, you know what? That's the perfect thing to do right now. And I sent it over to him, and he put his own spin on the Phoenix and sat in his chair for like 3.5 hours straight with one 15-minute break. and he did it, and it's full color too. It's not like it's just a black and white. It is a full color
it's beautiful
tattoo.
That
and
is much too much.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he only got me once.
Oh my
There was only
God.
one part where he hit a little tiny nerve in my rib where I was like, ooh. But other than that whole time we did it. It was great. And that's why, for me, he's got that hand. So I'm so used to it now that is who I trust. I've heard different stories from different people. Oh, but it was so hard to get done. Oh, it hurts so bad. It does not. It's not that bad. It's a different sensation.
However,
that's what it is. It's a different sensation.
I can say, when I got the Deathly Hollows on my back, the one where everything's falling apart on it, I have another tattoo, and that one's great. But the first one, I was getting that done, and it's, you hit the bone on the spot, and it's like, okay, that's a little uncomfortable. And I look up, and this dude's turning green. It's getting a little thing on his arm.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Oh, bud. Are you going to be okay?
I know. Well, it is. It's a different sensation, and a lot of people do think it feels kind of weird. For me, it's this like I get into this relaxed stage.
What?
Yes. I love listening to the sound of it.
Though, with
everybody is.
Levels.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. But we've had kids. We've birthed kids.
I've been cut in half twice. Oh, sorry.
Jordan's knocking everything over. She's getting all excited now.
What I do. I'm a mess.
But it is. It's a different sensation for Danny and I went together and got the king and queen on our leg, and he went first, and he was shaking and jumping, and it was, there were certain spots he was like, oh, and we talked about this with Mitch when he was in, and Mitch looked him right in the face and goes, I can't believe you. Melissa's going to get the same thing in the same spot, and she's not even going to twitch. And I didn't. And Danny was looking at me like, what? No.
See,
everybody just has a different thing.
For so long, since I was 18, and I haven't had one since I was 18, that in my head, I've built it up more than
it really is.
That I remember, because I've seen people get tattoos since.
Yep.
And I've seen some pain on the faces.
Yeah.
And so,
well, it's not like taking a bubble bath.
Yeah, I think I got it in my head so much. However, I do have my drunken tattoo already in my head. So I don't come up with something I really don't want.
Because she knows one of these days
it's going to happen.
Gonna win.
Me and Jordan and the boys are going to drag you into a place one of these nights that we keep talking about, and we're just going to do it. And it's just going to happen.
I already have it planned out, so we're good to go whenever.
So now she's ready. So now we know this.
Later, so
now we know this.
When you change your
exactly.
mind, like, Jen, that is not what you wanted.
Yes, you might want to just write it down.
Okay. No, you're
give paper in your wallet.
Yes, because if we go in there,
you never go into.
Right here, this is what you wanted.
Yeah, she'll go in and start seeing all these real pretty ones on the wall and be like, "Ooh, maybe that one. Let's just change it."
What a giant angel!
And then the next morning, she's going to wake up and go, "Why did you guys let me do that?"
I hope I'm not that convincing. I really hope I'm not that convincing.
I don't know. If we're all drunk, you could be very convincing.
We have done some stupid shit on my account.
We've done some stupid shit on
all of our accounts. Yes. But thank God we do it and we don't get in any trouble.
Yeah, we do it. Thank you to our husbands for putting up with us.
Yes.
All three of us together.
Yes, all three of us together is trouble.
Well, this is why we're friends and not sisters, because I think if
God.
any one of our mothers would have to be responsible for the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
none
no.
of us would be alive.
Hell no.
No. Absolutely not.
I'm pretty sure my mom would have just filled up the bathtub.
My poor mom. She had to put up with so much anyway that adding 2 more girls to the mix, and you 2 girls. Oh my God. Not all the experience in the world could prepare one for that.
Oh, no. Debbie, Kathy, and Robin, thank you so much.
We love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom.
My mom made it for me, and then she had my sister. So. I love you, Taylor.
Shout out.
Oh my God. Bitch. Yeah, we've definitely done some crazy things, and we've just had a lot of fun.
And we'll leave them to our memories.
Yeah, but it's nice that
Polaroids.
Again, that's nice that is what we've been able to do. We've had a lot of fun, and it's not just Cracking up another one.
Damn.
It's just not with us, but with our kids too, because Jordan and I have kids, so it's
My
not
little
always
nieces and nephews.
Yeah, it's not
Well, my
always like
niece
we
and
can
nephews.
just go and get up and do whatever we want all the
Yeah.
time. You know, we have to plan it out and make it right, and and sometimes that's why we don't end up at a show with our husband. Yes, my kids are older, but sometimes depending on where it is or what's going on,
Yeah.
I wouldn't just leave them for overnight or certain times of the day. So it's
If you're lucky enough to have your family close by, like I am, I know you are.
Yep.
Your mom's close by too. It's definitely we have the advantage to be like, hey, can you watch the kids?
Yep.
And for the most part, they always say yes. At least on my side,
Right.
My mother-in-law and my mom, they're awesome.
Yep.
They go ahead and they take the kids all the time, and then my dad chases them around. And,
Oh yeah, but it is nice, and we again, just like we said today, the kids are with all the guys. They're out disc golfing. They're outside enjoying the fresh air. They're
it's a beautiful
having
day.
yeah,
No, it's
I mean, it could be worse. We could have snow.
Oh God, no! Thank God. This is why we live in Florida. This is why I will never go anyplace else.
Oh, did I tell you guys I put the house up for sale? I'm moving to
To Trinity.
Tennessee. No, I'm just kidding.
The only
right,
place
we
she
won't
would be
let you do
moving
that.
is to Trinity area, Newport Richie area.
I'll stay 10 minutes away from the beach.
That's as as far as she's going to go.
They got me in chains, y'all. They got me in chains.
But we do. The kids are with us a lot of the times too when we
Yep.
do things. It's not like, just like Jen said, they don't have kids. So they embrace ours just as much. They know what we go through.
Totally.
And they understand. So if we say, well, yeah, we could do that, but the kids are coming with us, they are so easy to adjust it to make sure it's kid friendly.
Jen's
and
always
that
got the
they're-
juice box.
Yeah. And the snacks, definitely
Juice
the snacks.
boxes and fruit snacks.
Yeah,
So you guys
definitely
are coming
the
to my
snacks.
house. Those are the two things they
Yep.
know Aunt Jen's got.
Absolutely.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Juice boxes.
My
But-
kids go right towards those gummies too. They're like,
Yeah.
I know. That was the first thing the other night. That's the first thing they said when they walked in.
can I have a gummy?
Yeah.
Gummies.
Yep. But it is.
can
It's nice to
smell
have friends that do that because sometimes not having kids, you don't
Oh, yeah,
want to
I've
have to deal
lost
with
friends
kids.
because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have,
But on the other side, I've lost friends because they ended up having kids and they turned
And
their
they don't-
life that way, which is fine.
Right.
Whichever way your life goes, that's great. But it's wonderful that you guys make the time to be adults and be alone.
Right.
And have that adult time and not always be with kids. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know that dynamic, but I have seen from...
Well, see, some people lose themselves. They
Yes.
lose themselves in being a
Totally.
parent. And totally understandable. I mean, I
Exactly.
did for
I get
quite
it.
a
oh, I
while.
did at the very beginning too when my
not
kids were
mad
little.
about it.
kind of
Yep.
became just a recluse and just kind
Yeah.
of, especially when you have a new baby, you kind of lose your identity a little.
Yep.
Because you are suddenly...
There's no hard feelings about it. It's
Oh,
just
no,
something
not at all.
I've seen.
Right.
And I think that's why we're so close because, well, you were pregnant with Everett when
We met.
So it wasn't like you already
Was I?
had, yeah. Or you just had him.
Just
that
had,
years I had just
you
had
had
him.
just
yes.
had Everett.
Yeah, because you and I hung out.
We did the
at a
hot-
show.
we did the New Year's show.
Like when you and I first really clicked.
Yes.
Was at a show and I was definitely way not pregnant.
Yeah, because New Year's is
I
when
had
we
just
met
had
and you
him.
had just
He
had
was
Everett.
Yeah.
Just over a month old.
Yeah.
Almost 2 months old.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you guys make the effort
To do both.
Recognize that we don't have kids and like sometimes we
Want to do adult things.
do want to do just adult things.
Right.
So
And we try
I
and make
appreciate
that
that
work.
from the opposite
Right.
end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, see, and you have like when you're, especially when you have kids in like your mid to early 20s. I had friends
What's that,
that
Melissa? You're getting tequila? Okay. Twist my arm.
were tequila. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na-na.
This break sponsored by tequila.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Tequila.
Okay, what were you saying?
So, like when you have kids in your early to mid 20s, you obviously have friends that are not even close to settling down, no significant other isn't like solid. But for me, like, I have been with Derek since I was 19 years old. We got together and it was like, boom, this is our life. This is what we want.
Yeah.
And he had already had Aiden. Mm-hmm. So I went into a pre-made family.
Yep.
And to me, that was perfect. I was great. I loved
Pre-made families are great.
They are. But it's like I had friends who didn't understand that I was willing to put my new family.
Your responsibilities.
Exactly.
As a wife.
Exactly. Before
And the
that,
stepmom.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when I had Liam, it got worse.
Yep.
Where I obviously was more invested. Because, I made this tiny human.
And he's so cute.
Oh, yeah. Well, and
yeah,
that's the
Liam
same
is
thing
the
with
best.
us. I mean, we got into a relationship. We both had children.
Exactly.
And at that time, they were younger. I mean, much younger. We've been together now 7 years. Daniela is 16 and Christopher is 11 and Elijah is 12. So, I mean, it's been a long time. So when we did blend our family, I did stay home a lot because we weren't leaving any of the children by themselves for 6 or 7 hours, So I did. He, there was a few times, I'd be able to get out with him and go to shows with him. But I had that responsibility because I wasn't the one going out making the extra money and playing a show. I was the one who stayed home to be able to take care of our family.
Yeah, I think any band wife that, has kids definitely goes through that. And it sucks because you want to go out and have fun too.
Yeah, you want to go.
You also do understand that, hey, they're making money. I get a night to myself. Get the kids to bed.
Yeah, exactly. And they're the ones making that sacrifice.
And watch some true crime.
Yeah, and they're making that sacrifice to leave their family to be able to go make the extra money to be on that side. So it's like a double-edged sword because they're sacrificing one thing, but they're also bringing this big thing to the table for us, which is always a godsend because without that, a lot of us...
Perfectly, too. There's a show, it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll take that.
Exactly. You split that with me because I sat home. No.
I dealt with these damn kids. Give me the money.
I don't have any of that. I just say, here, give me.
Yeah. And so now we're all waiting
myself.
for them to have kids. We cannot wait for these two to have kids. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and I'm giving them every toy that makes the most fucking noise.
And the little things like the Legos that they're going to step on and the little cars that run around and
No. Did you hear what this?
Oh, I know.
Did you hear what this
Every year. Thanks, Juan.
She gave my kids a fucking recorder.
I'm so happy about it.
Recorder.
And you guys, not a recorder
so
like they're
happy
recording
about it.
something like the musical recorder.
Like the devil's instrument, the recorder.
Yeah. Bend over, Jen. I'll show you where the recorder's going to go.
I did it so hard. And the year before, I gave him little putty that looked like shit. It was like poop putty or something like that. And it was all over. Oh my God, it was so funny.
It's still stuck to their carpet.
See, she has no idea what's going to happen with her.
I'm the fun aunt. Daniela says
we're going to be
the cool mom.
Oh, yes.
Great aunts.
Everybody's a cool mom to Danielle, except for me, and I am a cool mom.
You're the coolest. Yes.
I take care of all these girls, too.
She's our MSF.
MSF. She's our mother sister friend.
Friend-wise.
Basically, when we get too drunk, she's like, come here.
Only sometimes, if I'm not that drunk.
Veronica is there. We're all on our own.
Yeah.
We're all on our own.
But I do the Melissa special, the 2 Advils and a bottle of water before you go to bed, and you're good to go. Yeah. And now they finally started listening to me and doing that.
Well, see, I used to do it, and then I just started getting, to a point where I'm like, fuck it, I'll be fine. Didn't really work out that way.
When Veronica, Charlotte, and Patricia come out to play, we know we're going to need those 2 Advils.
Yes.
So my drunk name actually came because I kept sending that stupid ass meme from Split. That wasn't me, it was Patricia.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes, that's right.
I can't take responsibility for any of that shit.
That's a great one.
Well, it's funny because
Where's my cardigan?
Danny only came up with mine a long time ago, too, because Chris and Diana, again, that story, because Diana, Chris always calls her Leslie when she got a little drunk. He'd say, Leslie's out, and we would all start laughing and cracking up. And
Tammy Lou when
and Danny decided, there is an alter ego to her as well. And that's how he just came up. I don't know why Veronica, but he came up with Veronica. So, and it's funny how we've all adapted to our alter egos at some point or another. And now they have names.
Charlotte's good. Charlotte.
Yes. And now they have actual names. So, so it's funny when the guys start talking about us and use those names, and we're like, oh no, shit.
We always say, like, Veronica's knocking at the door. Patricia's got the door open. Has her foot in.
Patricia's looking through the peephole.
She's looking.
Charlotte's looking under the door.
It's like we all know when we're getting to that point.
Busted out.
Yep.
I'm coming. I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
Dance break.
See, sometimes, it just comes out.
We need a reality show at this point.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, guys.
Go well, okay?
Bravo.
We've kept this really good and clean. We kept this very good and clean. We had fun doing this. This was a very positive podcast. We, like I said, every once in a while we're going to do special episodes of other people in the community. We're veering towards, not just the musicians of the community. Participants, people that inspired us in the community, people that are in our community doing something special. I know Danny and I have talked about, we want to bring in some of our cop friends in the area. We've brought in other people. We've had Papa D on a few weeks ago, who was just an inspiration to us and in the community, being a veteran and things like that. So we want to make this so it's fun and interesting, and there's something for everybody to listen to. Recently the deputy here passed away, Sheriff Michael Mogley, who we knew from, our friend George Smalios. It was his zone partner. So we, want to give a shout out to their family and let you guys all know we are praying for you as a family and the community, having to go through such a horrible loss, in the area because of somebody who had many felonies already underneath his belt and shouldn't have been out there in the first place.
The decision to drink and drive.
Yes.
Fortunately, SunTrust Bank has set up a fund for them. So if you guys feel that you can donate, obviously these are tough times for everybody, but if you can, go to the SunTrust Bank and they will help you make your contribution to the fund for the family.
Absolutely. Again, we support our men in blue all the time. We have several friends on the force. We're going to want to talk to some of them as well. Eventually, like I said, we want to make this a community podcast, not just about the musical, but anything in the entertainment, anything in the community that's going to bring positivity to us, or just, somebody reach out and uplift you. And we thank you guys for constantly listening to us. We've got a lot more to come over the next few weeks and months. We have our great sponsors that are giving people promo codes for their tattoo merchandise, which is really cool. So Legendary LTD, if you go on there and place an order, you can use the promo code SB30, you get 30% off of your order of apparel. It's a great thing that they're doing for us. They're going to have other things like a mystery box come out, which they're going to give away tattoos. They're going to do shirts, hats,
interested in that.
all sorts of goodies. You need to start leaving us some reviews. Leave us some reviews on either Apple, Spotify, whatever.
Only Apple does the reviews. And when you leave a review, it actually helps other people find the podcast.
Yes.
So, go on, leave a review, share with your friends if you haven't done so already.
Facebook as well. You can leave a review on that. Send us a message. Just let us know what you think of our podcast. We like as much feedback as possible. If you're enjoying the episodes, if there's somebody you want us to reach out to, maybe get on an episode, we will do that as well. You've heard in our past, we had, a few different people on here that are not just local, but nationwide. So please leave us a message, leave us a comment, a review, anything, and let us know how you're doing, how we're doing, excuse me.
Only 5 stars, guys. Come
Yes,
on. Only
please.
5 stars.
And now we're going to wrap it up. We're going to do a quick shot. And then the girls are going to wrap it up for us by saying thank you and that you're listening to the Social Banter podcast and who they are. So they're going to close it out for us. We're going to pick a song that the three of us feel sets our tone so we can play it later on at the end of our podcast. Yep. So we're going to talk to Danny about making sure he puts that on here for us. So everybody grab a glass. We've got our Camarena tequila here.
Always.
We keep trying other ones. Anybody's got a recommendation on a good tequila because we do shoot it, so it needs to be a good flavor.
Jump on the Instagram or the Facebook and leave a recommendation.
Yep, let us know. We like to try them. Maybe we'll do an episode where we do a different, couple different taste testings or something like that. Based on people's recommendations.
So drop the recommendations. And,
yep. Tag us in there. Let us know which ones you want us to try. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me and taking over the podcast. Thank you, Girls Day. Sunday Cheers. Fun Day. Cheers.
Yum.
Love you, girls.
Thanks for being a
You
friend.
guys are the
Love
best
you.
friends. Traveled around the world and back again.
And we keep going. There's just much, much more to come. So, ladies, go ahead and wrap it up for me.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Social Banter Podcast. I am Jordan Robbins.
And I'm Jen Duro.
Catch you next time.
Wah, wah, wah.
Can't wait. And you're